and welcome to episode 6 of 40 Something and Fabulous in London. I'm Inez Roberta. On today's show, I'm going to be sharing with you some more tips and advice on things you can do and how you can keep busy in these isolated times, as well as a few more kitchen fitness exercises. But before all of that, backed by popular demand, some more of my horror dating stories from over 20 years of internet dating and 800 dates. So get yourself a cuppa, get yourself comfortable, and come with me. Today's 2 horror dating stories are about Mr. Half and Mr. Lie-A-Lot. So first of all, I'm going to tell you about Mr. Lie-A-Lot. So we all know that on dating sites, people are prone to exaggerate a bit or maybe lie about one thing on their profile. Not a problem. A little white lie doesn't really harm anyone as long as you're upfront and maybe clear it up when you meet up. However, this guy really took the biscuit. On his profile, he was 6'2", fit, goes to the gym a lot, no kids, and 30 years old. Had a bit of a blurry picture. Should have rung a bell in my head really, but gave him the benefit of the doubt. The banter was good. He seemed really like a nice guy. Let's meet up, he says. Off we go. We meet up at a bar. Straight away knew that probably wasn't even the guy in the photograph. So that's probably why it was blurred. Didn't say anything. Definitely not 6'2". Definitely not seen a gym in about 10 years. No issue with that at all. Don't put it on your profile. And started chatting. I thought, well, give him the benefit of the doubt. And I said, oh, your picture was a bit blurred. And he said, oh, I didn't want any of my ex-wives to see it. Wives, that's with a plural. So clearly more than one, despite the fact said never been married before. It's then transpired. He said, well, I do have a child. Turned out to be 5 by 3 different women. So at this point, I'm just ready to leave. Cosmopolitan in hand, halfway through. This was a few years ago, and certainly wasn't 30 years old either. So I said, well, and then he eventually admitted that the person in the picture wasn't even him, it was his friend. So all in all, a shocking experience. It just goes to show that people can lie about more than one thing on the profile. They can become a completely different person. So the moral of the story here is make sure you know who you're really talking to. Get them to maybe send a current selfie. I mean, even then you don't know if you're actually getting that person. But it's kind of something that you could ask. Delve a little bit deeper before you meet the person. I think the advice will be on that one. So the next person I'm going to talk about is, I called him Mr. Half. Now his opening line to me when he started conversing, and he seemed like a really nice chap, was, can I take you for dinner? So normally I don't go for dinner on a first date. Normally a drink, because then you can have a get out clause. Oh, I'm busy, I've got something to do. I don't need to be out for too long with a person if I don't get on with them. So he kept pushing to take me out for dinner. And eventually I thought, well, let's do a casual dinner. So we arranged to meet in a lovely kind of a Mediterranean restaurant in West Hampstead. And we got there, and I'd actually already eaten earlier in the day. So I kind of said, he said, oh, as soon as I arrived, glass of champagne for the lady, and was really, really charming. Pulled out the chair for me, perfect gentleman. And I ordered a small salad. I think it was some sort of, I'm not sure, feta cheese salad or something like that. £5 or £6 on the menu. And he proceeded to order pretty much everything on the menu. At least 3/4 of the menu. And so I was just thinking, this is just a little bit odd. So we had a nice conversation. He seemed a little odd in some of the things he was saying, but I kind of just thought, oh, well, he's a nice guy, but maybe not my type. The bill came, and I think I'd probably amounted to about £8 or £9, I would think. I had a soft drink and I had a small salad. The bill came and it was £140. And then he proceeded to say, well, should we go Dutch, half-half? Well, I mean, I was so shocked at this point. I kind of just handed my card over. But at that point, it was like I've just paid £70 for a small salad and a soft drink. It was the most expensive, because he told me he was like, have a champagne, this, that, and the other. So ultimately, the moral of the story on this one is don't go for dinner on a first date. I would highly recommend just going for a coffee or some sort of, just a casual drink. I think I was really, really surprised. I'm all for paying my way. I'm quite happy to do that. But when someone says go Dutch and they've spent about 130 and you've spent about 10, it's just, yeah. So he was my Mr. Half. So that was a very interesting one. So those are my two stories for today. There's plenty more stories coming your way. Believe me, there's hundreds more I could go into. I've actually started to write all of this into a book. So Around the World in 800 Dates. So I'm thinking about publishing that at some point in the near future. So if you are still in the dating game and you are missing your chances of internet dating and meeting that someone special, there is a solution in these self-isolating times. It's called No Filter. This is a new app and it enables you to video chat with up to 3 people like a speed dating event. So it's all done online. You don't even have to leave the house. And it saves any kind of awkwardness. You can start to vibe with someone, and then really, if you get on well with them, continue maybe privately to video chat with them, and eventually after all of this coronavirus has hopefully ended, then maybe meet up with them. You never know, you could find the love of your life on this new app. So here's something fun to do if you have young children. My sister has 3 under 6. All you need are cardboard boxes and some bits and pieces from around the house. Let's make our own buses. Start by cutting out just enough room for your child to be able to be a driver. And then using paper plates, yogurt pots, buttons, tin foil and anything else you can find to create wheels, lights and gears. You can even spend time painting them and customizing them further, like numbering them with buses that they know. My sister assures me hours of fun were had by all. They maybe even want to sleep in them with a blanket. All aboard! So last week in episode 5, I showed you a few exercises that you can do in your kitchen, kitchen fitness. So today I'm going to show you another couple of exercises that you can add to that. So you can go back to look at last week, or if you haven't already done so, please do. And you can just select which exercises work for you. So the first one we're going to do, I call saucy dips. Okay, so if you can, try and get hold of a couple of jars of pasta sauce, or you can use anything. If you've got weights, please do use weights. It's entirely up to you what you do, or do it without weights, okay? So I'm going to do it side on and camera on to show you the best way of working. But we're going to start off literally making sure we've got enough space and holding the jars up about so high, and then the idea is to step back onto the toe of your the ball of your foot. Heel is off the ground. You're going to bend straight down. The weight is in between your legs completely, so neither forward nor back. Then you're going to twist round, swivel round. You're then going to come back round, and then you're going to bring your foot out, wide step, and dip down. Stick your bottom back like you're sitting on a chair. And then you're going to come up, go down, and swivel, and back, and dip. And down, and swivel, and back, and dip. And again, this is really working the legs. So again, you choose how many of each that you do. Okay, so making sure you stay low and it really works into those legs. Then you can switch over and do the other side. So that's the first exercise, saucy dips. So the second exercise we're going to do today is the kitchen kick. So get your chair or your bench. Make sure again you've got enough room. You're going to find that straight line position where you are balancing on the balls of your toes, pushing up through your shoulders. Spread your hands out nice and wide and make sure you're in a nice straight line. The idea is to bring your knee up and you're going to kick forwards, kick towards the side. There. Come back and then you kick away. So you're crossing across, flexing your foot, so leading with the heel. So you push across and back. This is working your side muscles in your core. Now, if you want to go a little bit further here, as you take your, for example, left leg across, you can lift your right arm. Really works across the core and also test your balance here. Come back and again, take the arm up. So you're bending the knees slightly, the supporting leg. Stretching out, come back. Stretching out, come back. And again, do as many of those as you'd like. It's entirely up to you. You might just want to do 5, you might want to do 25. Your choice. The last exercise we're going to do today is back to the kitchen. So this is for your back, if you hadn't already guessed. So again, pick up your Dolmios or just can clench your fists, it's entirely up to you, or heavier weights, whatever you want to use. Take your feet slightly wider than hip distance apart, soft bend in the knees, and take your weights just straight down in front of you like so. Okay, from here, you're just going to slight bend in the arms, lift up, drop the chin down, so you're keeping the neck nice and straight, and then bring them back. So we're lifting up, and you should feel it in the top of the back there. Up and squeezing. So soften those knees, lift up and down, and lift up and down. So you should feel that after a few repetitions. And again, entirely up to you how many of these that you want to do. So this is back to the kitchen. Okay, shake everything out. And I hope you enjoyed those 3 exercises. So you can add those to the 5 that we did last week, or you can just do those separately. It's entirely up to you. I'm sure you're all getting together with friends and family via different modes of communication online. I myself have tried out various options this week when we've had parties and get-togethers online, and it's been really good fun. So I wanted to take you through a few of them now and what I actually think about the pros and cons of some of them. We started off using WebEx, which is quite good. It feels a little bit businessy, if I'm honest. I think it felt a little bit, the way the setup was, it wasn't as friendly as some of the other platforms that you could use. We then looked at Zoom. Zoom was really good, but I found with that after about 40 minutes it kind of knocks you off and then you have to log back in again, etc. I don't know if that's just a fault on my end, I wasn't entirely sure, but it didn't feel as fluid as some of the other platforms. Google Hangouts is probably one of my favourites. I really like the way that the format was done, how you can change how many people you're seeing and move things around a little bit. You can really play about with that. But my favourite so far has been House Party. House Party is brilliant. We had one yesterday and you can really see everyone really clearly. There's as many boxes as you want on the screen. It just felt a little bit more party-ish, if that's what you're looking for. So we really like that one. If you're sitting at home and a bit cold at night, the weather's still a bit chilly, with all this sort of watching TV and films and things, I highly recommend buying a Slankit. I never would have thought I would hear myself say that, but we went online and found, I mean, this one is absolutely huge. It really is. And there's 2 sleeves in. My boyfriend and I almost could fit in one between us. It's so big. And you've got your little pouch here for your remote control. It's incredibly soft and comfortable. We got ours from Amazon.co.uk. We got it from Amazon Prime. It cost about £26. Free delivery, next day delivery, absolutely brilliant. But I'm sure there's many sites you can also look at online for comparisons of that. Talking of watching things and TV and that kind of thing, if you are into your psychological thrillers like I am, and you're looking for something that's on the edge of your seat, a bit different, there are so many things out there at the moment. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I myself this week have watched several shows. Firstly, The Stranger on Netflix, which if you want something with twists and turns and there's a bit of suspense, this is brilliant. Watched all of that, fantastic. Then you've got Penance on Channel 5. You've got Liar on ITV and The Nest on BBC. So all of those shows are fantastic. They'll keep you more than occupied for many an hour. So that I highly recommend. Well, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please send any comments of anything you'd like me to look at. And join me again next week for more tips, stories and advice. See you then.